As iconic as it gets and easily among the most important trading cards ever made. The 1984 Star, Michael Jordan, thank goodness Star had a production to actually feature his true rookie presence in the league. While the 86 Fleer is the mass-produced, feed the masses predominant rookie card of Jordan, this is his true rookie. First one to really feature him in a Bulls uniform, and is still regarded by many to be the most coveted Jordan that exists. From a price point perspective, it's the crown champ. No mint Jordan is worth more than this from that rookie campaign, of course, and so it's an incredibly important issue, and just holds a lot of possibilities, I guess, from an ROI perspective as this market continues to mature. Jordan is still Jordan, and as the market moves in the directions that it's moving, he remains the focal point of comparison. That is just it's impressive. So many decades later since he first entered the league. This particular example, it's absolutely packed fresh. We have subgrades of 9s and an 8.5 on centering. Centering is so typically shifted as is this one to the degrees that are common, but I'd say this one at an 8.5 certainly exceeds what we see a lot of times. The centering top to bottom is a little goofy in the manufacturing. This is actually centered better than it may appear according to Beckett and how they measure it. Usually what we do is we turn it over and look at the back to try to assess centering, and here we see like a centering of the pink salmon color on the top versus bottom. That's probably closer to the actual ratio of the centering according to Beckett. So call it 65-35, 60-40, something like that. Aesthetically, edges and corners are immaculate. They just don't come looking like this very often. In fact, from an edges and corners and surface perspective, I think that the card is actually a bit undergraded. I think you could argue that there's a grade hike in here. The edges in particular, but the corners as well appear very, very good. So it is what it is. It's a pristine, very, very crisp example. One of the most important cards that exists in our market. Very rarely do we get them in such high grade, and this one really checks the boxes.